The Joker, the maniacal clown prince that wreaks havoc on Gotham time and time again, will often land in any true superhero fan's top 3 villains of all time. But in some universes, this character isn't actually known to be all bad. In fact, sometimes he, or she, as you'll see later, acts more heroically than even Batman himself. One example being number 10 on our list, the Red Hood from Batman the Brave and the Bold. In the episode Deep Cover for Batman, this version of the Joker exists on Earth 23 and sports, well, a red hood. Although his face is mostly obscured, we do catch a glimpse of a few features that can basically confirm that the Joker is under the hood. His trademark grin, pale skin, and a bit of green hair show that this Joker is actually supporting Batman in the fight against evil. After fighting off some bad guys, Red Hood Joker actually thanks Batman and hopes he can return the favor. Sure enough, in the very next episode, Game Over for Owlman, they team up and defeat Owlman, who had previously impersonated Batman and ruined his reputation. This instance with the Red Hood proves that if Batman and the Joker could find a common enemy, they might be able to keep fighting crime together and maybe even bring the Joker out of his insanity. But we all know that this isn't always the case with the Joker, just in this list. Okay, 9th on our list goes to John Doe Joker from Batman the Telltale series. In this storyline, Batman is actually committed to Arkham Asylum after being drugged and influenced to attack Oswald Cobblepot. There, he runs into a couple pretty bad prison inmates who you can bet were imprisoned by Batman himself. So, who saves him from this encounter? A sympathetic, insecure version of Joker known as John Doe. What's cool about this Joker is that since he's appearing in a Telltale series, you get to control if this version of the Joker stays good or not. As we all know, most interpretations of the Joker show an outcast who feels slighted or abandoned in some way by society. So in this storyline, this Joker, although initially good, can go dark real fast if you choose to treat him poorly. If you choose to treat him like a friend and trust him throughout the game, he'll eventually help to take down the agency, putting his life on the line in the process. But if you choose to treat him like a tool to get what you need, he will pick up on it and start to adopt homicidal tendencies. Man, this dude is sensitive. 8th on our list is from a Batman Captain America crossover, where this version of the Joker teams up with Red Skull. I know, not very heroic yet, but just wait. In a page that has become something of a meme in comic book culture, the Joker is shown learning that Red Skull is actually, in fact, a Nazi. And when Red Skull tries to equate Nazism to Joker's own evil ways, the Joker actually says, "I may be a criminal lunatic, but I'm an American criminal lunatic." He then sprays Red Skull with some kind of green poof in an attempt to kill him. Later in the comic, the Joker actively seeks out to kill Red Skull, stating that he's actually planning on helping Batman put him in a cell for the rest of his life. So yeah, although this heroic version of Joker isn't necessarily an alternate version of the supervillain, he is an iteration of the Joker that draws a line in the sand on his own limits to what is too evil, even for the crazed clown prince himself. Okay, 7th on our list goes to the Joker's Wild Jokers. Yes, that's plural. For those of you who aren't already familiar with Tangent Comics' Joker's Wild, this storyline features a modern version of reporter Lori Lamaris, who fights crime with her 2 other Joker teammates, student Mary Marvel and entrepreneur Christy Xanadu. These 3 Jokers are up against a big foe in this storyline on Earth 9, facing off against an evil tyrant Superman. So yes, these versions of the Joker are actively seeking out evil and fighting against it. Although it doesn't turn out so well when the tyrant Superman ends up torturing and eventually killing Mary. Christie's whereabouts remain unknown and Lori's in prison for 10 years. When she gets out, she decides not to take up the Joker costume again and instead continues under the identity of Manhunter. But for that brief period, the world was introduced to one of the most unique, heroic alternate versions of Joker on our list, and we're better off for it. At number 6, we go to Earth 3. First appearing in countdown number 32, Jackie, a struggling stand-up comedian, eventually assumes the title of the Jokester and becomes known as something of a hero to Gotham. Much like other versions of Joker, Jackie has been bullied his whole life and is getting sick of it. So when Jackie witnesses Owlman kill the owner of the Last Laugh comedy club, he decides enough is enough. With Harley Quinn as his manager, he changes his act to focus on ridiculing Owlman. By doing this, he becomes a kind of hero to Gotham, which had also become kind of tired of Owlman's tyranny. But only when Harley Quinn is killed and Jackie's mouth is sliced open in the classic Joker way, he assumes the identity of the Jokester. Jackie, aka the Jokester, although having lost all of his sanity, still dedicates his life to ridiculing and humiliating Owlman. Owlman is a pretty brutish vigilante assuming a role on Earth 3 as a supervillain, so the Jokester's efforts are absolutely known as being heroic. And that's why he belongs on our list. Okay, number 5. This is a weird one. In this storyline, a version of Joker is set out to kill an evil version of Batman, who was created by an evil Joker in a big battle, but that's not the Joker we're talking about. In this unorthodox story of good versus evil, this evil Batman, known as the Bruce, basically has this religious event called the Night of Blood, where he challenges anyone to try and kill him to take on the new role of Batman. And a guy named Joe Collins, who's the leader of a resistance against the Bruce, is brainwashed and becomes the new Joker. Stay with me. So this version of the Joker is heroic because he wants to take down the evil Batman. But what really brings home the heroic aspect to this version of Joker is when he finds Bruce Wayne's Batman costume and sets out, dressed as Batman, to defeat evil Batman. So it becomes Batman under the influence of an evil Joker facing off against a good Joker posing as Batman. I told you it was strange. Number 4, we've got the Joker from Superman Distant Fires. In this universe, a nuclear holocaust has killed off most of the population of Earth, killing many superheroes and supervillains, leaving any survivors without superpowers. One of the sole survivors is Clark Kent, who eventually finds a jungle refuge where a few others have survived, including Wonder Woman, a one-legged Flash, and Joker. What's interesting about this version of the Joker is that the nuclear holocaust was so devastating that it rendered him sane. That and the fact that he'd gone years without Bruce Wayne as his nemesis after Bruce was killed in the nuclear event. I guess in a universe without any good, the evil finds a way to balance itself out. Either way, I think this storyline gets the point across. A nuclear holocaust would be so bad that it would turn Joker good. So let's avoid that. At number 3, we have the Joker from Batman R.I.P. This Joker is not quite as cut and dry heroic as the others so far on this list, but he definitely deserves a spot on the list nonetheless. With the threat of criminal organization the Black Glove looming, the Joker and Batman have a private meeting where the Joker actually warns Batman of the Black Glove's intentions of killing Wayne. What makes this Joker heroic isn't that he's no longer a threat to Batman, but instead that he finds himself with a common enemy to Bruce Wayne. When a member of the Black Glove approaches the Joker to join them, he decides to kill them instead. And not only this, but he places a bet in that moment that Batman will actually rise up and destroy the criminal organization. Although after this, Joker is sort of back to his usual shenanigans as a side threat in this storyline. But for that time being, he was actually helping Batman. Alright, we're almost there. At number 2, we've got another one of these situations where Batman and Joker find themselves with a common enemy, the Batman who laughs. Sort of a self-explanatory name, really. This evil version of Batman, sort of a Batman-Joker hybrid, comes from the dark multiverse and appears in Dark Knight's Metal. When this evil Batman comes from another dimension, he brings with him the philosophy that Batman's approach is too soft and won't be enough to stop crime altogether. So what does he do? Yep, he gets carried away and kills people, which is something Batman can't stand for, of course. But with this Batman who laughs being so unpredictable and volatile, he's proving to be a worthy foe to Batman, who has to approach the Joker for help in taking him down. The Joker's help proves to be worthwhile because since his own actions are equally unpredictable and volatile, he's also able to successfully take down the Batman who laughs, solidifying heroic status, at least for that moment in time. Once again, I'm pretty sure the next day he woke up and chose violence against Gotham again, but but that's just him, right? Unpredictable. Okay, finally number 1. The spot at the top of our list goes to the Joker from White Knight. Known as Jack Napier in this storyline, this version of the Joker belongs at the top of our list because he has fully gained sanity and reformed into a functioning part of society. What caused this is suggested to have been a controversial run-in with Batman, who beats the Joker up so badly that witnesses start to think Batman might have gone too far. On top of beating him up, he also force feeds him a full bottle of pills that the Joker had pulled out himself. Gotham becomes divided on whether or not Batman had acted out of character, and after Jack Napier recovers from his injuries, his intellect is at an all-time high, and it appears as though he's completely changed for the better, possibly because of the pills. Jack even goes as far as giving a heroic speech saying Gotham deserves more than the Joker, and makes moves to actually indict the Gotham police force for conspiring with Batman, someone Jack now sees as a threat to functioning society. Whether you think the Joker deserves redemption or not, this interpretation of the Joker is the biggest departure from the original villainous Joker that we normally see. His clean look, his reputable character, takes the character and ultimately does a great job of making us stop and think what it is that makes the original Joker what he is. So that's it, guys. There's my list. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Have I frustrated you deeply by missing key details? Leave a comment below and let me know. Thanks for welcoming me to the team at Top 10 Nerd. I'm excited to explore more about comic culture with you guys and look forward to hearing about what you think about my lists in the comments. Thanks for watching Top 10 Nerd. My name is Ben Ball, and as always, stay nerdy.